Hello, everybody.
Go
We
on,
are
keep going,
live.
Shelly.
Hi.
Hey.
What? What is what? Am I doing all the talking
Hey,
today?
Yeah,
listen,
go
yeah, let's get
ahead.
started.
Oh, okay. What are we talking about? What did we say? Do women really want the soft life? Is that our topic? Oh wait, where did
Well, where'd
Carmel go?
Carmel go?
I don't know. Do women really want the soft life? No.
Okay, maybe we should introduce ourselves. Well,
Yeah,
where did
let's
Carmel
start
Okay.
with that.
disappear?
So you guys, I am Shelly out of You are tuned into Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits. This is our monthly live stream. We are missing one of our arms. You like the starfish has got 5 arms. There's 5 of us. Like Dr. J's doing this whole 5 of us. I am 1/5, Shelly A. Carter, out of New Jersey, and I'm a cross licensed real estate professional, real estate banking, life insurance licenses. I like talking about finding land, building stuff on it. And my favorite thing to do right now is how to monetize it, because we are talking some trash about not being able to pay some bills when we just need a little bit more money. So that's me. Dr. J, who are you?
I'm Dr. Jamesia, the nurse practitioner extraordinaire. I'm also your intermittent fasting and mindset coach, YouTube influencer, speaker, all the things. And I'm 1/5 of Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits. And I am soon to be your, I don't know, your fashionista. That's what I'm soon to be.
Let me help with that.
When you said soon to be, at first I was like,
I know, but
I
not
was
yet.
like, is there something else we need to know about?
No,
Okay.
that will be the first to know.
Hey everybody, my name is Debbie Maisha and I'm the Sensual Energy Alchemist. I am a master life coach and teacher of sensuality, and my business Sensual Energy Alchemy guides Black women into their sensual confidence so that they can show up bold and powerful in life, business, and love. Carmel is back just in time.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. My computer just completely crashed. It
Oh,
just, and
wow.
it told me, it just crashed. And I was just like, oh boy, really? I stayed calm. I am Carmel Jean Francois, owner and founder of CFit Coaching. I am your whole food, plant based health and wellness, vegan fitness coach, all those things. And really, I work with people who have come to realize that they have a food and sugar addiction. And we go on a whole food plant based we take a whole food plant-based journey to combat that, and then we start reintroducing those foods back into our lives as soon as we realize that we have health. And so that's me, that's my business.
So
Let's
soon to
talk.
be revamped, that one liner that you have, right? Soon to be revamped. I'm just saying.
Which one liner?
Yours. Remember the
So,
information that you just
oh,
got?
girl,
Yeah.
yes,
Yes.
yes. Dr. J gave me some diamonds the other day,
Yes,
some
she did.
gems, and I am
Put some
going to
sexy on
be
it.
working that in. Yes, 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 yes,
Well, the
100%. Y'all
diamonds,
see.
the gems, I don't know who came up with it, but it is really accurate. Some of the stuff that we've been saying and dropping is really stunning and beautiful. We are evolving individually, we're evolving together. And I don't know how much time we have for our chat today, but I got to tell you guys. So, Maisha was talking the other day. Well, Maisha's been talking every day. She is currently my muse. I love you two ladies, you know, but Carmela is you are my nutrition coach. Dr. Demesia, you got me intermittent fasting like a beast. I'm not even thinking about food most of the time.
It's true.
Occasionally I wake up hungry. But this chick, Maisha has evolved into the one where I kind of like take her in. I peek around the corner, and I peeked one day and she was talking about the soft life and women working too hard and doing it yourself. And and what did she say? What did you say yesterday? You said I outsource. And I'm like,
Yes.
I heard all of that. I felt it. And I'm like, mm, I'm good with it to this point. And then at this place, like on this side, I'm like, oh, that sounds so yummy. And then on this side, I'm like, okay. So after I do soft life and I relax for like 4 days straight, and I have done everything twice, because the less I do, the more I notice what I'm not doing, I'm going to go back crazy. So I asked if we could talk today about Who is the soft life for? Do women really want a soft life? And Maisha, you take over, but I got a question for you. What the heck is soft life? This all these social media terms, people use all these words, but you love language. Could you please tell people what you were talking about and define what the heck a soft life is?
Yeah, sure will. So I didn't define it at all because it's different for every woman. And I think
Okay.
that's the problem, is that people assume that soft life means you're laying on a chaise lounge, like in some pictures I have that y'all will see soon enough, that you're just laying and someone is feeding you grapes. Now, personally, I don't have a problem doing that from day to day or so. You know, fan me, feed me grapes. I love the Cleopatra treatment. Do I personally want that every day? No, I'd be bored to tears. And I don't think most women actually want that every day. But the point of the video that I was making is that we don't even know what we want because we have been conditioned to work, work, work. So we don't even know what that means for us, especially those of us who are 45 and above. We don't have a frame of reference for what it means to have leisure. We are the first generation that really had access to full-blown education. We were the first generation to really be able to climb the corporate ladder the way we have. And we were also the first generation to feel like, okay, we have everything. We're going to make it out. We're not going back to do that. We're never going to be in that position. We're not going to be here. We're not going to be dependent on anybody. Nobody's going to take anything from me. All of that stuff. And so I was asking women to question, do we work so hard? Do you work so hard because you absolutely love it? Like in your ideal life, you trust every man, you trust the people around you, you feel like your friends have your back. In your absolute ideal life, would you still grind as hard as you do? Or are you doing it because you feel like you have no other choice? And are you making these decisions based on the truth of who you are? Or are you doing it based on what others expect of you or what you've been taught to do? I'm just asking women to question so they can figure out for themselves what that soft life looks like for them.
And
I love that.
You know what? As you were saying that, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I have been 100% having my back for the longest time. So what do you mean? I don't know what that is or looks like because I've not been in a position where I can do that. So I don't know if I like it or not. I just know I'm out here doing what I need to do. So
is it something that you want to experience? Is it something that you're curious about for yourself? This quote unquote soft life?
Right. I get that question. Is there something I want to experience? Yes and maybe no, because I'm like, well, it gives me a little bit of, even to think about it, it gives me a little bit of anxiety to think, I'm gonna slack on this. I'm gonna slack on what I know. I am going to slack on what I know works for me and depend on someone else when I have been depending on myself for so long. So in my mind, I'm like, no, why would I? I'm doing a good damn job. I am doing a good job. And if I slack on it, am I being lazy? Am I, so I don't know. However, I do get tired, but I feel like I put in the work, right? I put in all the work for me. And now I do want to just kind of enjoy some of the work that I've done.
Yeah.
Not from someone else, but from the work I have done.
Right.
So I still don't know if I've answered that question, because Maisha said, depending on friends, family, and a man, I don't know. But even with myself and what I've built for me and my family, it's like, I don't know that I can rest.
You know what? I'd like to jump in there.
Sense?
Yeah.
It makes so much sense. And you said a trigger. I want to ask you a question. You used the word lazy. I've heard a lot of elders, when we say we're getting a nanny, a housekeeper, a yard guy, What's wrong with you? You too lazy to do it yourself? It's only,
Yeah.
and I'm like, listen, you said I'm tired, and you use the words tired and lazy.
Mm-hmm.
If you're tired and you of all people know how important your rest is,
Mm-hmm.
but the work needs to be done, I do not find it to be lazy to hire someone to do a thing that I either do not want to do, I do not have time to do, or does not make financial sense for me
Right.
to do.
Yeah.
My aunt,
Yeah.
who has been retired since I can remember, she has worked and she retired herself, invested, did everything she was supposed to do. I was on the phone with her a couple of years ago, and she's like, "Look, you need to hire somebody to clean that house." And I'm like, I don't want anybody to know if I hire somebody to clean my house. So people didn't know for my kid, even my kids didn't know for a while that I did hire somebody once a month to come and do
Now,
the.
now, what is that? What? Because you're not the only woman who feels that way, right? So, what is that?
Well, I don't know what it is. I'm just telling you what I did. Well,
So that,
you know what I'm saying? So I'm telling you, even my kids, and then like my kids, when they did find out, did stupid stuff like, oh yeah, we have we have this and we have. I'm like, oh God, that's
so
We're cleaning our house.
yeah.
right. So I live in a 2-bedroom apartment, and back before my sister got married, it was the two of us in this 2-bedroom apartment, and we hired somebody to come in every 2 weeks to clean, and we were kind of like, my sister was like, I don't want anybody in our space, but I was just like, this was not something I was bragging to anybody about because we ain't got no kids. We have a 2-bedroom apartment. Come on, guys, can you get it together and clean your own shit? But at the same time, like she's a teacher, and we all know that teachers still continue to work even when they get home. I have a business working on another business, and so the time wasn't there. And just like what you said, Shelly, is it cost effective for me to spend my time cleaning when I could spend my time doing something else? So to your point, and back to your question, Maisha, what is that? Why did I feel a certain way not to tell people? Because I felt that they were going to be like, you ain't got no kids and you can't even clean your apartment. What is that? How lazy are you? And quite frankly, I felt like I was lazy too, because we grew up cleaning our house when we lived with
So
my parents.
the underlying of that, and check Maurice's question
Maurice
there,
gets
because I think that's going. But the underlying of that really is shame.
Yeah.
And shame causes us to hide. And then the question becomes, why are we, as descendants of people who built this country, ashamed that we would then hire other people to assist us so we don't have to work as hard? What has been embedded? Right. What has been embedded in us to the point where we don't feel we have the permission to rest, whether we have kids or not. Like, we have to come up with a reason.
Yeah.
I have to have a reason to have someone assist me.
Yeah.
Right? Like, think about that.
I'm gonna chime in because it's something that as a caregiver, I'm still looking. It is killing me. Like, why is it so hard to find someone to hire to do these things? But I am looking for a tutor and I am looking for a caregiver. It is not easy. And there's a general attitude of, well, why can't you do it? Because I need to get rid of the break in my schedule. It is a disruption. So that I can have a consistent schedule, I want to hire someone to fill in those gaps because I need the consistency to be who I'm supposed to be. And I don't feel like that makes me lazy. And then Maurice is talking about what is it? Would the acceptance of a soft life help me, or whatever that means for each of you, take away from your achievements you've made in life? The answer is obviously no.
Right.
But every now and then I talk about the biddies. The biddies want to tell you what you should do or what they did or what they think. And I've told my mother, what'd you say, Carmel, you don't want anyone in your life? I know for a fact when I finally find her or him, whoever they are, this lady is not going to let them go. she gonna be so happy, so spoiled. No more Shelly saying I need a minute. When she's got someone that she can call and they come and she's got that direct private attention, oh, she's gonna love it. But this still goes back to, for me, what is a soft life? For me, a soft life is what I feel like I used to have one. And the definition of it meant that when I wanted to take a break, I could. That was it. I did not need, if I wanted to, I'm gonna keep using this. If I wanted to, if I got my nails done on Monday and I painted them pink and I was wearing something red, on Friday, I went back to the salon and said, change my nail color. And that was it. If I saw a promo, because I'm not like I was rolling in dough, but I had a sense of freedom where if I would see a promo for, I don't know a $54 flight to Miami or Vegas, that I could just sit down and say, I got $54. Is a round trip? Let's see it. $120 plus hotel plus food. Hey, daddy, mom, dad, I'm going to Vegas for a couple of days. I'll be back. That, to me, the ability to rest and relax and vacate when I felt like it is something I'm really hungry for. Again, that's something I'm living without. And that for me feels like self-care. And I refuse. We were joking about me playing Lumberjack Jill. My sense of self says, I will not give you $600 to cut this tree up. I refuse. And I will not pay $600 for a saw to cut this tree up because it's going to break. Because I cannot afford to buy the saw that I really need. It's going to break and then it's going to be garbage. So I'm going to figure this out. And I will spend $600 for this or for an appliance or to go order truckloads of mulch or to pay labor to spread out or come do work. But to cut down a tree. So that sense of, hey, I'm going to go do this thing that somebody might say you're not supposed to do. I don't feel like that takes away from my softness. I feel like I'm pretty darn brave or independent
or badass.
And who says independence and badass? Thank you. I accept that. Me being badass enough to go fight with this thing laying on the ground does not mean that I don't want to throw on a dress or some makeup and take away my femininity. I feel like if you're not living this soft life, tippy toeing on around in little pink heels, that they say that you're not you. I can go from the backyard to the ballroom with the best of them. And don't tell me because I'm digging around in dirt in the morning that I can't go to a proper black tie affair in the evening, like as if I'm disqualified. That's why I like that we're talking about what is soft life and that we're acknowledging it looks different for everyone.
Well,
So go ahead.
Listen. For all of y'all out there listening, that's Shelly right there. That's her. I'm not
digging in no dirt.
I'm not digging in the dirt. And I'm calling somebody to cut up the lumber. I'm calling. I'm calling. And to answer Maurice's question, does it take away from my accomplishments? No, it doesn't. However, I feel like in my mind for a soft life, I'd have to allow someone else to take care of the everyday stuff that needs to be taken care of. And I don't think I want to answer to anybody like that.
Aren't they answering to you?
Excuse me?
Why would you be answering to them?
Because they will be taking care of all of my stuff that I need taken care of.
But what if you, so a lot of this sounds financial.
Yeah, for me.
I hear a lot of,
Yes,
I hear Shelly mentioned, right, and Shelly mentioned that too. So, okay, you've got, what if you had all your own money? You got $10 billion sitting around. You're not answering to anybody.
Right. Well, well, in my mind, what I'm thinking is I wouldn't have to do all this stuff, right? I wouldn't have to do all this work, this hard work, because I had other people to help me with my expenses.
If I got $10 million, I'm not cutting up no lumber either, but I don't have $10 million. I'm
right. And I'm
So-
just it's interesting. It's just interesting. I'm listening and I'm observing. It's interesting how we're classifying
Yeah.
what creates the soft life. And it's almost like what creates the soft life would then be dependence on
Okay.
someone else's money. But so I'm building a business. I'm building an empire. That is just what is
Yes.
happening here. I'm building all of that for me because I enjoy doing that. Now, soft life for me looks like I have the ability to vacation when I want to. I have the ability to go learn how to skateboard and hula hoop, and I can take adult ballet lessons, and I have a chef because I don't feel like cooking, and I have a house manager because I don't want to open up my refrigerator and go, oh man, I'm out of lemons. I want it always stocked the way I want it done, and I don't want to have to do the grocery shopping.
Yeah.
I want to provide for someone else's family by allowing them to do that for me so that I'm free to actually enjoy everything that my life has to offer. That soft life to me doesn't have anything to do with my makeup products, what I put on my face at night, the color of my clothes, whether I'm wearing heels or flats, whether there's a man involved or not. It's my ability to learn and do and live how I want to without restriction. So that's what it means for me.
I
So
want to
like
jump, Carmel, you go, but I want to jump back in. So.
No, I'll jump in a minute too. I'm sorry.
I love it.
Soft life for me, not that it needs justification, but I feel like my achievements, to answer Maurice's question, would justify my soft life, right? Like I've achieved this, I've like earned this. Not that I owe anybody any explanation, but this is what I want. So I remember I was dating somebody and he would have to take these trips for work. And he'd be like, I'm going to Boston, want to come? And I'm like, yeah. The fact that I could even say yeah, that was number one, right? And then we'd get there and he would have meetings all day. And we'd wake up and he's getting ready and he's like, what are you doing today, honey? I loved that question because I could do anything I want independent of him, a schedule or anything. I said, I'm gonna go for a run today and I'm gonna take a tour around Boston and maybe end up for a massage. He's like, well, after work, 6 o'clock, we're all meeting for dinner. Meet me at such and such restaurant. Okay, honey. I ended up running out of time and jumping on one of those street carriages that took me to the restaurant. It was a phenomenal day. And every time he went away, this was what I experienced. For me, that was a soft life. I can do what I want. And in between it all, I can still build my empire. I can still be on the phone doing what I'm actually passionate about. And even if that takes work and thought and creativity and time, that's soft to me because I'm doing everything that I want to do because I have that time. And if it involves a man keeping me, I'm all for it. I am unapologetically.
I want to throw a curve in there. I do. I want to
Unapologetically.
throw a curve because that sounds amazing.
Amazing.
Perfect to me.
Hello?
It really does. And
that means I would never that's like not working. Who win? Ma'am.
Oh, by the way, to answer your question, Maurice, no, I don't think it takes away from any of my achievements. But go on, go back, yeah.
I don't need to work all the time. I work all the time because I don't have that partner. You know, it just is what it is. So, and when I call the guy, forget even a partner, when I call a worker, and this got nothing to do with what I'm gonna say, but since she gave me the bright eye, you know, that bright eye, I got bright eyes too. When I call and say, hey, I'm hiring you to come do this, and I'm hiring you to do that, and you're either unreasonable or you don't show up, it still needs to get done. So my sense of must do on a deadline says I'm gonna go get this thing done. But I want to just talk to the beauty of how what you said, Carmel, and how it does not upset my psyche. But, and I know y'all kind of get a little twisted when I start pulling out the internet streets. But in the streets, there are a couple of really loud voices screaming that you're not a man unless you've got your woman at home with an allowance and she should not have to do this. All she should have to do is take care of herself and you. That is her job. I still do have my own personal, I can't speak for nobody else. I have seen it in my family. I've seen it in these streets. She signs up to be his gal. And then all of a sudden, Tiffany Elise, whatever, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, you come home to your mansion to find out that somebody's telling you, you got to move. I got to what? I got to who? Out of my, no. So one, I'm just in here completely confused over what impact are you trying to help Black men come back in, what is that voice, which they're not here, so they cannot answer. But I know when I hear it, I'm saying, oh hell no, I'm not putting all of my eggs in that basket, because I know what it's like to have to sit down and you need something, and then you've got to ask your partner for a thing because you've been Susie Homemaker, and there's that financial independence. Now I got to trust you with my life. And that doesn't feel soft. That feels nerve-wracking.
And see, that a lot of that is because there's been such look, the way nature is set up, men generally being who they are, that whole provide and protect thing is so that we can have a soft life. Because when women don't have to stress, we can be our most creative selves.
Yes.
When women don't have to stress over survival, we're not really built to have to do that, but men seem to be able to handle that differently. When we don't have to worry about that, even from a health perspective, our cortisol levels are lower, our estrogen levels are a little different, our mental health is better, we can care for children and be in community in a different way. Yeah. That's just nature. Now, because of our interesting situation here in this hemisphere, and now we don't. And that's the truth. We don't know what it's like. And now there's so much.
So for you to say it's foreign.
Right. Right.
It's like,
it's foreign. Right.
It's like,
so now we have
a fairy tale.
Right. And so now there's this really, really at the end of the day, and see, we can't deal with it because it hinders us when we don't get to the honesty of the problem. And the honesty of it is many of us just don't trust men. And we can't even begin to heal things if we keep skirting around that particular issue. And I'm not even suggesting that there are not reasons why we don't. And men also have some accounting to do and some growing up and some healing on their side of the fence as well. But here's the real. Because we feel like we always have to do everything ourselves and that's all we've seen, hell no, I'm not going to just be with you and you tell me that you want to just take care of me. Where's the trickery? What are you actually trying to do here? No, I'm not going to be left on my own. You're not about to leave me with no money. I saw what happened to my 2 aunts, my grandmama, and my 2 friends down the street. And that's where we're at right now. So when there are men talking about this, take care of your woman thing, that's a beautiful thing. I'm here for men doing that. Men also need to learn how to do that because they don't know either. And then women also need to learn how to relax and trust that. And that's a lot of therapy.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
All right, here he goes. Because you asked him. And so Maurice said soft has a negative connotation with the majority of men. So that's not what they would not want. Okay. An easy life is what they would call it instead. And he says also being able to do what I want when I want.
That is what I relate to.
Right.
That's about right.
I really enjoyed it.
And so when you have someone who has set their life up in that way already without anyone,
mm-hmm. That's great. Because I don't know where this expectation is coming that a soft life has to be contingent upon someone else. And I don't
hear. That's what I hear when I hear it.
Yeah, well, I don't. Yeah, y'all know me. I don't personally spend a lot of time listening to some of these social media folk because I mean, look, they're young. I had some of them comment. Can I tell y'all? Because I don't. I had some of them comment on, and I know that they're young because young is foolish, and not just. I'm not talking about age. I'm talking about young. They're young. They don't understand what that means. They have, many of them have grown up in spaces where they've watched women doing certain things or watched men not doing certain things, and they're trying to grasp onto an idea of something without understanding the fullness of what that even means. So they're just talking, but just like Dr. Jamisa said, I don't have a frame of reference for that. They don't have a real frame of reference for this, because if they did, they would know that deciding to marry a woman and saying, babe, I just want you to relax and me take care of you, is such a huge responsibility that many of them have not been prepared for.
And I have another question to throw in for whoever's going to answer it. All of us are business women with business models where we have received and are soon to receive large checks. And how do you deal with that man and you're trying to be, I don't even know how to finish it, subordinate or soft? Let's just stick with the word subordinate. Of the day, soft. Yeah, that's what I said. I'm struggling. I said I'm struggling.
Ease.
But,
how about ease?
Okay, we're trying to be at ease. Marie said easy life. So we're trying to have ease with someone who's looking at us and okay, Maurice, this is so small. Well, at this stage in life, would welcome a sugar. Maurice, I can't with you. I can't with you.
I wonder how true that statement is, Maurice.
It isn't true.
It is not. It's a lie.
It's a lie.
But so if I close on a transaction, or hell, I get a referral fee and it's got 4 digits in it or 5 digits, can that man? I'm answering it in my head. How are you having ease with that man who's not getting 5-figure checks and 4, can they even give you that ease when they feel like you are, and we're back to the money, that ego, we're back to the ego.
Interesting.
Like, because
that's what we're basing relationships on these days. It has nothing to do with character. It has nothing to do with the communication. So when the men talk about how women are chasing them down only if they make 6 figures or more, it's because, and they're feeling some kind of way about that, it's because we keep bringing up the money.
So I'm the one who has lived the Medea movie. It just hasn't been produced yet. And married for love, and we gonna get there together, baby. I got us. And oh no, I don't care about the money. Oh no, you can go out earn me. It's not a problem. Then all of a sudden, it's the family attack. Everything is hers. Everything, what's in it for you? It's her place. It's her furniture. It's her vehicle. It's her. It's like, dude, I tried to be the loving, supportive partner, and like all the bats coming out swinging. Like dang, it's like, are we able to just go and have the romantic movie without somebody trying to?
No, we cannot ever have the romantic. No. We cannot ever have the romantic movie, and we need to stop that. That's it's not even real. It's scripted. We cannot have that, and that's why
it's not real.
Looking at movies and social media as a way to figure out how to have a relationship. That's not real.
My story predates social media. I'm talking.
No, I know, but the movies still came out, and we're all victim to it. Please believe me, I was too. Like, it's like the movie, because that's all you have to go on, because we didn't have any real examples.
Man,
you know what, Maisha? You said that it's the women that keep bringing up the money. But I feel like we bring it up because we have the audacity to bring it up. I feel like the dudes aren't bringing it up, especially if they're self-conscious that they don't have enough of it to take care of what they would supposedly need to take care of. I found that my most peaceful relationships were with men who were making considerably more than me. and they took care of me. They took care of whatever it was that they needed to take care of. And there was real conversation. There was openness. There was peace in the relationship. And none of it was centered around money. And let's face it, even when with arranged marriages, for instance, when families would arrange marriages, it was to make sure that the wife is secure in her relationship, that she doesn't need or want for anything.
That's right.
And so we can never take money out of that equation. We can never take finances or security out of that. And in this is what it looks like in this day and age. It looks like, what does your bank account look like? That's what it looks like. And I feel like that has a lot to do with how we show up in a relationship, or how soft our life ends up being, and how content we are. I'm not exactly like proud to say it, but I feel like that's been my experience.
It's part of the
It's
truth.
really, really true.
It's real. I mean,
I've not had any of those experiences, so I can't speak to that.
Well, I've had conversations like, I'm like, when I go somewhere and I'm with, my guy, and I want something, I see something or whatever, I get all this stuff, right? This is just an example. I get all this stuff, right? And I get to the register and I'm like, is it you or me? I do that. I'm like, who's got it? Like, because we've had a conversation where he's like, you ain't got to worry. Like, but when I go crazy, right? I'm like, is it you or me?
Well, why aren't people having actual conversations about this then? So if that's the desire, and I'm not talking about like, oh, you're not, like none of us do this, but this, you're not good enough for me because you're not making it, because everybody's in a different space, right? So if you're a man looking to take care of a woman, or so if you're a woman who is every woman is not on the same level, and some women are looking for a man with a private jet type of lifestyle to take care of them, when they know that they are still kind of like at the Walmart level, right? And let's just
Did you say Walmart? Did you say Walmart?
I did. And
I did.
Really, what right do you have to be? You are shopping for shoes at Walmart, but when you meet a dude, you're saying, "Are you taking me to Neiman Marcus?" I'm just saying,
like there's an
go to
interesting
DSW.
expectation.
Can we meet in the middle?
There's an interesting expectation there. So I'm just wondering why, where's so if I'm with a guy, like I've been out with men, and I'm always prepared to take care of me.
Yep, that's the rule.
And then he's like, I got it. And I'm like, thank you.
And
right. And then we're good. Now, if I'm going shop, I can't imagine me just going shop. If I'm going shopping with some guy and I've not had this experience, and I'm buying things, and and I know that he's gonna get from me, I'm the type that's gonna say, so you're covering this, yes? Is there a budget?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I know my budget.
Yeah, that's good. I got to get that. What's my budget? No, I'm serious. No,
we're not trying to run him into the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no,
like,
we're not trying to run him into the ground. However, yeah, because
listen, you said you do the eye, like, so who's got this? Who's
no,
got
I
this?
literally say, hey, you and me.
But see, if I know that I have a budget and then I go over the budget, I'm saying, okay, so
that's a good one though.
He's paying for this one, and I've got this one, and I feel no pain doing this.
Yeah.
I think, and let's
discussed it.
Let's and I like to go levels deeper, because people stay surface. They're like Carmel said, it's about the money. It's about the safety.
Right.
That's what it
the
really
security
is. And I need the men to understand that, right? So for the women, the money equals safety and security. And when we feel safe and secure, then we are more at ease. The more at ease we are, the more we can do, because we don't feel like we have to be on our, putting our back into it, not in the way that we like to do it. You know what I'm saying? So that is what the money signifies. It's not about the material items. It's not about what's in your wallet. It's really Do I feel safe here? Can I relax, or do I have to be prepared to fight?
Can I answer that?
Yeah.
And I've said these things before, but we're recorded and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I earned about 4 times what my first husband earned. And I felt safe. I felt at ease. I went and found the most awful place on the planet to live. And the very first thing he did as my fiance is say, I'm not letting you live here by yourself. It's not clean enough. It's not safe enough. I don't know if you're secure. The first thing he did that felt wonderful to me was just be present and be my built-in bodyguard, or all 6'5" zillion football linebacker, basketball players, chunk of man. That for me felt like a soft life. When I was working from home and he was leaving to go to work, but I was there pretty much like I am now. And we had a very honest conversation. And I said this in one of our rooms before. I said, so we've got to have a hard conversation, because you're going to get up every day and leave and get on the train and go into the city and go work and come home. And when you leave, I'm going to be sitting at this desk. And when you come home, I'm probably going to be sitting at this desk, and it's going to look like I'm not doing anything, but I will still be working, and I will still have money, and we will still have everything we need. Are you okay with that? It wasn't like, we'll talk about that later. It wasn't like I was trying to attack. I was trying to get to the communication thing. And I'm telling you, I was very comfortable there because I was working from home. They were talking the 90s. I got married the first time in 1999. I've been working from home since 1995. Ooh, I'm old. I love saying that. Like 95. That's a lot of years working at home.
I'm not old.
Me either.
We're talking about you.
We're the
talking
same
about
age.
me. I'm only talking about me. Don't internalize me at you. Don't internalize my voice. I am really happy. I am proud of my age. I am happy with my silvers. We are good over here. Leave me alone. So, but we're talking about ease, and I'm telling you that I think it upsets me so much because everyone makes it about money. I was okay being the earner. I was okay as long as he came home.
Right.
He was my security blanket. He was my big teddy bear. He was my protector. And it was the other voices who came in who said it can't be this way. He's supposed to earn more money than you. He's supposed to be, his mother being the chief one, God bless her soul, but she was the big argument in our place. And when you get married, you're not supposed to have anyone in your relationship but you and your spouse, but all the biddies and the uncles from all of the places saying this upside down magic you guys have isn't right, so you're wrong. But we weren't wrong.
You weren't wrong.
And that lack of ease and that disturbance was part of our deterioration, because everything was fine.
Wow.
It worked for us.
Yeah.
And and there was plenty that I contributed and he contributed that was already wrong, but the financial structure of us was not wrong, because that's just the way it was at that time. And we were new. We had not begun to build in us. And that is why I keep fighting on this topic, because every single relationship looks different. Every single person looks different. And who are you to tell me that I'm not at ease when I get to look at my door and I'm looking at my watch and I'm like, babe's going to be home in a little bit. And when your boo comes home and you like looking at your boo, you're happy. So you're telling me that my happy is invalidated because our income structure is upside down?
Right.
No.
That was good.
That was good.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the part that hit me is when Maisha said, do I feel safe here?
Yes.
Relax. And I think those are the questions that I need to ask myself. Do I feel safe here and can I relax?
Yes.
That's big. That's huge.
And I'm
Especially
telling you, I have felt that
yeah.
and had it torn apart.
And
Attack-
you can't care about what people think, but it's hard when
It's
you
hard, especially when it keeps coming at you.
yeah, and they're just coming at you, like you said, you know, it's hard. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think for me, moving forward, can I relax? Am I safe? And
So, you know, young.
not put the words to that. You know, I couldn't put words to that. So that is soft life for me. I would love that. Yes, I want that. I think every woman wants that. Every man wants that. Do I feel safe here? Can I relax with this?
Right.
does he feel appreciated?
My money, my feelings, my love? Can I be free and relax here?
Absolutely.
And it also,
Act.
yeah, and it could come in different packages, right? Because I felt safe with the blue collar, with the blue collar guy who fixes my dishwasher when it's broken, but also the white collar dude that says, well, how much is it gonna cost? Right? And security comes both ways. Feeling safe comes both ways. They come in different packages, but it depends on, just like Shelly, to your point. Do I like it when he comes home? And I know, like, I can count on him to come home on time, to be with me, to make me feel safe, and just love me. And I think that was a beautiful point.
And that's why, again, these conversations are like they're surface level. And what people are really saying when y'all, everybody, when you're listening to these people talk about what this soft life looks like, at the end of the day, what they want to know is, am I safe here? And they think that the money is the thing that's going to give them safety. Money can be taken away immediately. So if that isn't there, can you still feel safe? If someone loses a job, a leg, an illness, does that mean now you don't have soft life? Right. And so for me, it's not, that's why I said it's not dependent. I don't care if someone makes more. I've never dated someone really seriously who was making buku bucks and took care of me financially. But I have dealt with people who've taken care of me emotionally. And I will speak for myself and say that will trump financial every day of the week. I don't mind making more. Important. I will fly you in. I don't care about that. But when I'm with you, can I be all of me? Can I let every single block and wall down? Can I show up however I show up and you say, babe, I got you? Because there are women in marriages with a lot of money that don't feel safe. And I'm not talking about abuse, like they just don't feel safe.
That part.
But they got money.
Money could be all over that conversation.
And
lonely still, as hell. And you still
lonely
feel
as hell.
lonely.
But then
you
they
still
got
feel,
all the creams,
you still feel insecure,
all the shoes,
scared, feel like you're being used and abused. All of it.
Right. Not working at all. They sitting at home. The life is soft, but they are crying inside. Yeah. No, ma'am. Y'all keep that.
And then there's even the jealousy component, because then I think I can tell you guys in 60 seconds, we used to go to a lot of parties, and we would go out, and I would go this way and he would go that way, and we would cross the room and cross the club and meet back in the middle. And I remember a particular moment where I walked by and he was talking to some woman, and I said, hey, and I was going to keep going. He said, stop. And he introduced me to the person, and I'm sitting there small talk like it's just somebody. And when I walked away, he said, she asked, who's that? He said, oh, that's my wife. And he said, she freaked out. She's okay with me talking to you? And I'm sitting, I had an attitude of, honey, you can talk, you can look, you can even rub that shoulder because it's really rubbable, isn't it? But he's going home with me. We're
That's
good.
Right. That's right.
Enjoy your chat. It's going to work out very well for me when we get home.
That's right. Hello.
So, Hello. That's all soft life.
Be the fluffer.
Huh?
I said, be the fluffer.
Hey, yeah, but that lack of anxiety, I'm telling you, that is what all of that comfort to me is soft life. That confidence in my partner, or the simple part of, can I cry around you? How can you cry around me? Can we sit in stone silence and just watch a movie? All of that is what soft life feels like to me. And yes, I like getting my hands on the credit card. Yes, I occasionally sneak $1 or $2 out of the account without asking. Yeah, yeah, I admit these things, but that is not everything.
And I think, and honestly, again, going back to the things that people hear on social media, the men who are saying that they want this are not, I personally do not think they are aware, because they have not been taught, because many people have not been taught emotional intelligence.
Okay.
We've all been brought up in a society that it's the money that counts. And for many of them, it may seem like the only way that they can get a woman to really love and respect them is to purchase her by having a certain level of income.
Mm.
And that
And or
idea,
background.
right, and that idea is a no. And they want that ease and safety too. They need to know that their heart will be protected by the woman they're with too. And I can't imagine what it's like to be with a man who feels like his money has you there, but can he be himself around you? Can he tell you his fears?
You know,
Right? Or does he have to keep up a facade so that you keep up the facade of your life?
yeah, men have secrets and skeletons and all of that. They need us to allow them to be
And they have a
themselves.
vulnerable side.
Yeah. So Maurice, this is really an individual question, right? There are people who feel safe who don't have their own source of income. Safety isn't, at the end of the day, safety really is internal. Now, outside of that, yes, when we're talking about like a Maslow's hierarchy of needs, absolutely. We feel better and operate better when our basic needs are met: clothing, food and housing. But I've known people who have had very little money or were completely on government assistance who felt quite fine and safe where they were at. And they, maybe that's their source of income. I could only imagine that people with absolutely no source are living in a shelter or homeless. If we're asking that kind of question. But if you're asking in terms of a relationship, that depends on the individual person. I can feel safe in a relationship with a man I can feel safe in a relationship with a man if I don't have my own money or source of income.
No,
I don't know.
He said not what he mean. I don't know, but it's still me.
Okay.
In a relationship, yes, I can feel safe without my own source of income.
Without my own source of income.
I don't know if I could.
I do not. I do not. I do not feel safe without my own source of income, because it makes me feel controlled, because you have a need, and it's experience for me and me witnessing other situations. So no, I need to have, I need my card in my pocket. I may not use it, but I want my bank card in my wallet.
Yeah, me too.
If I don't have my own source of income, I'm just gonna have to work towards getting it, because I need it. I need it.
And I don't know if that's what did he say here? Can I feel safe? I'm still saying no, but I don't know if safe is really. I need to contribute. I am that type of person. I need to be able to contribute. I need to. What he put.
Can I go ahead? I want to ask you a question about that.
All right, ask.
Is our contribution only financial?
No, absolutely not.
So is there a way for us to, right? So and I'm not suggesting that you all like change your mind, but if we're with a man who we can feel safe with, who's not going to control us, he's not going to leave us, we're not bringing in any of the negative. We don't have that in our world. So this man is here and wants to take care of you because he loves you and wants you to be relaxed. If you did not have your own income, does that mean that you're not contributing? And if you don't think so, then what is it that you think a woman contributes if it's not? Is it, what I'm saying? Like,
women contribute plenty.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. We contribute security and safety in a
Yeah.
completely different way, right?
Absolutely.
And Maisha, you even said it, like they want to know that they feel loved too. They come with their own
Right.
vulnerabilities. They're human beings. Everybody wants to be loved at the end
Yep.
of the day. And women come with that. By nature, we are maternal. By nature, we are caregivers, and we take care of things. If a man is treating us right and taking care of us, we are providing the same. We're providing conversation. We're providing a soft life, so to speak. He comes home from work and we want to make sure that he's well taken care of. Of course, I'm talking about the woman with integrity, right? Just like I'm speaking about the man with integrity. We bring something else to the table and we provide that for him so he can provide what he provides for us.
Yeah.
It's a continuous circle. It's a yin and yang. It fits together.
We're
All
talking
right, so a
about-
question.
okay,
Go ahead. No, finish your point. What's that?
We're talking about romantic relationships, but one of the best relationships I ever had was not a romantic relationship. It was just so completely intense and cerebral. And my contribution, excuse me, wow, my contribution was just ideas and perspective and being able to have an outside eye. And I contributed so much that that person's boss actually wound up offering me a job because I was coming to the table with, it wasn't sex, it wasn't doing the dishes, it was just being present and being involved in, first it was his life, then it became his business. I didn't know the impact I was having, but I eventually found out that I was having an impact, and that was just by listening and participating in the conversation. And I think that sometimes we don't listen to each other. And you were talking about that role that men have. Sometimes it's so powerful in my experience, just listening to a man and being present with him. And I'll stop there. I want to read what Marie said, or can one of you, because it's so small.
He said, I think for many of us, especially women, if we don't have our own, it's like living without a net and relying 100% on someone else. That's a difficult thing to do. It is.
To do.
It requires a huge amount of trust, and
Oh yeah.
and kind of leads me to believe that really people are in relationships, but they don't actually trust the people that they're with. Like the trust is almost there. It's almost there. It's close.
You know,
It's real close.
yeah, Maisha, and you know, I hear you, and I do agree with you to a certain extent. I think that no, I do agree with you, but I do think that having these conversations help people like me, especially people like me, because I haven't had facts. That secret bank account. Yep, exactly. That secret bank account. But yeah, for people like me who have not had someone there, to trust that someone else is going to do that for me is hard.
Yeah.
So when you ask about a soft life and all that, that right there to me, that question, like, I don't like that question too much, because no, I don't want that, because no, that's just not the girl I am. But do I want to feel safe? Do I want to be able to relax fully with someone? I do.
Yeah.
So if you were to ask me in a different way, then I would say yes. But if you say, does every woman want a soft life? I'd say no, I don't. I want to do my thing. I want to be able to do X, Y, and Z, whatever, the way I want to do it. I want my own money. I want to go in the store and shop. I don't want to hide no bags. I want to ball out of control when I'm ready to do that.
Yep.
To do whatever. And I don't want to ask you for the credit card. I don't want to ask you. But I do want to feel safe, and I do want to feel relaxed in my relationship. So if that's soft, okay, yeah, I do want that.
I feel like I was living a soft life when I was working, but I've said in one of our recent conversations, I woke up one day and the man couldn't walk. I'm supposed to go to work, and then I wound up having to shift life around because of that. It was very serious. So without having that safety net, it it just doesn't feel good not to have a backup or something financial somewhere else, because it does cost money to live. Like it just does. I have to have that safety net. I can't make do without it, because life has shown me that you have to be prepared for anything. And despite the preparation, that was a 7-month long road. I just got to make sure. I remember my father asking my first husband, hey, if she gets pregnant, are you prepared to take care of her? Well, I will say, for me, I I would need to know that if anything happened, that our lifestyle is not going to change. It would it would take a firm, confident yes for me to that answer, to know that I still drive, eat, live, how, where, and when, travel how I want to, despite what's going on. And that might chill me out. So I've got to admit that it is financially connected for me, and it just is what it is.
I've been loving this. To Dr. Janice's point, I mean, I've been loving listening to this conversation, and I think that it's really important. I just want to read some of the Instagram comments we've got. I don't think of a soft life as in any way being financially dependent on your partner, not going into a relationship as a teenager with training wheels. For sure, we don't want to do that at this big age of grown.
Yep.
And it's interesting to me to hear and even read the comments of what we consider soft life to be and what it looks like, and the trust that's involved. Despite the I was in a shitty marriage where there was no safety, not financially, not physically, not emotionally, nothing. And even still, though, there is this strange gooey part of me that's just like, but that's not the way it is. I chose wrong. That's not men. I just chose the wrong man. And so that's why that ended up the way it did. But I loved, and every woman doesn't, though. That's why it's important to define for ourselves what ease, not use soft like Maurice said, right? Because soft sounds like you're about to be taken out, like you're soft. Okay, so let's use ease, right? I felt most at ease when I was a stay-at-home mom. I loved being at home doing all of the things at that stage in life. I hated and resented having to go out to work. I hated it. I was like, because I was doing it because he didn't. Right. And so I did not like that. Now at this stage of life, because we're different people at different times, I'm not the same woman I was in my 20s. I don't need a man to take care of me financially. And I think that that's something that men have to reconcile with, that the reason why we're not going to have the relationships that grandma and them had and grandpa is because grandma couldn't get a bank account. Grandma couldn't own a house. I can own all the things in my name now. Before it was about survival. It's not about survival anymore. So what are we basing our relationships on in 2024 and beyond? So for me now, the financial piece isn't the biggest thing. It is the emotional. It is the physical security to some part. I need to know, again, that I can be with you. And even if I met a man who could financially take care of me and he was like, babe, I got you, I would still have my business, not because I needed to make the money, but because I love what I do. And I would have the freedom to just do it because I love what I do. And that's just all my play money. But also remember that I grew up Muslim, and in Islam, a man's money is a woman's money and a woman's money is her money. So the things that I was indoctrinated in is his money's mine too and my money's mine too. But so I would, even if I met a man who could take care of every single bill that I had and said, you don't have to do a damn thing, I'd still own my business because it fuels me.
I got no problem with nothing you said.
Right.
She said,
your money is our money and my money is my money. That's how. Let me get one, I get two. Like it.
Oh,
completely.
Listen, I couldn't listen. I know. I couldn't wait to get out of somebody's job. I hate working for other people. I hate it. It makes my skin crawl to have
That's
someone
horrible.
tell me when I have to be somewhere. I can't
Yeah.
do it. I can't do it. I will struggle and figure it out on my own before I have to clock in somewhere. It's terrible. It's terrible. Please, y'all, don't be that way. It's
No.
terrible. There's got to be a middle ground.
I'm eye to eye with you, Maisha. I love contracts, but I do not like a job. You can contract me, and I know that I'm with you for 4 weeks, for 8 weeks, for whatever. But to sign on and connect my life with you, like, oh, we're not friendly. We don't like it. Yes, I want to feel.
Yes.
Okay.
But we can. But I think that's why the question was, does every woman like, and KK Diva asked on Instagram, like, well, what is meant by a soft life? And I think that we get to define it for ourselves, and not allow somebody's social media account to tell us what it's supposed to look like. That's where people get tripped up, because we're 4 women here, and it looks very different for each of us. And whatever ease looks like for you, for some women, ease really is, I get up every day and I go to my corporate job. That's ease for me. If you have me staying at home, I will go bonkers. This idea that all women are meant to stay at home and bake bread, that's ridiculous. Because guess what? Even back in 1893, when all women were staying home, some of them killed their children because they could not stand to be around all them babies all the time. That's not for every woman. So I think we get to define for ourselves what is ease. And if we do that, instead of listening to everybody else tell us what to do, we can find it or bring it to us.
I want to echo the listening to everyone else, because I've said it before, I'll say it again. We are live on multiple channels. There are very many people who think I'm living a soft life, to which I say, just pretend I'm giving you the bird. Just, my life looks like it looks. Your life looks like it looks. And pieces of it are soft. Yes, I'm healthy living and I don't have to go to corporate America, but don't make assumptions about other people's lives.
Do not, because I'm telling you, if I see
Yeah.
one more thing, somebody putting on like 5 different things and doing their makeup in the mirror, and you see their wardrobe behind them, and they're talking about #soft life, and you don't know when that dude come home, he's not saying 2 words to that woman,
or he's laying hands on that woman,
right?
Because dinner wasn't done.
Or she's berating him.
That
Let's not act like that's not happening either, right? So
every single day.
We don't let social media dictate for us what our life is like. We look and sit down at our own lives and say, what do we want it to be like?
And that is why I was very grateful that everyone wanted to have this conversation today. We have been here for such a long time, and I like it. I was worried, but we're still here.
This is good. This is
I
good.
like it very
This was
much.
good. Very good conversation.
It really was. It really was. I got a lot of little tips out of it. I mean, seriously, because we need it. Listen, that's the grit of Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits, because it causes us to move. It causes us to see things in a different light. So with that, I love it. I mean, I think we had a good conversation. I'm taking something away from it.
What are your takeaways? Let's close out with that. What are your takeaways?
So my takeaway is that I do want something similar to what everybody is thinking a soft life is. But for me, it really is the safety. It really is the place where I can relax. That's what it is for me. It's not working. It's not being creative. It's not getting in the bag. It's not that for me. It's, can I relax here a little bit? Can I be safe here a little bit? Can I be vulnerable here? That's what it is for me. And I like sometimes my identity is tied up in what I do and how I do it. And I don't want that in my relationship to be the thing. And so, yeah, that's what I want. And I think that is soft for me. And I'll make that bag and I'll bake a cake. So that part.
If you have an extra cake, please send it up here. But for
me,
really,
and you love saying, Dr. J, that not me. So I'm gonna say a not Dr. J kind of thing. For me, soft life is just kind of moving and navigating, sometimes kind of helter skelter through my day, but that I can just go outside and stare at a spot on my yard and say, I'm going to build something here. I wonder what I want it to look like, and take the time to design it and create it and order the materials, whether I start it myself or hire a handyman to help me. But taking blank spaces and creating them there, whether I'm fiddling with one of my websites or building a shed in the backyard, you know, all of that, that for me is the peace that I need. And it comes with some stresses, but that I can do that, that I am gifted to be able to do that. That for me is my soft life, and it feeds my necessity for creativity. I don't paint with canvases. I build things. That's what I enjoy doing. And if I was working all day and couldn't be outside sitting there measuring and designing, I would feel stifled. I love my construction world. I love it when they call me and tell me to design a kitchen. And it's like, okay, and like, wait, now I actually get paid for these things. That's so I'm sitting and fiddling on the computer, and I send over some sketches, and that's worth money. Or I open a door and someone says, "Can I live here?" And I hand the piece of paper in for them, and I get paid for that. That freedom to earn money in seemingly doesn't look like I'm working that much, that makes me feel good, makes me feel like I'm getting paid to play. That's my version of a soft life. I'm controlling it. I don't have a partner in that, but that is what I have designed for myself. My getting paid to be creative. And I need it.
Yeah,
Carmel.
that's so good. Yeah, my takeaway is, it's interesting, right? Because I feel like I grew up saying, "Oh no, I don't need a man in order to provide for self." But I sit here and I fantasize about the intimacy and being vulnerable with someone, and feeling soft in that way. Feeling like I can experience the soft life in that way, and being the Susie homemaker if I want to be that to my man, and yet having my own business and building an empire and clocking in somewhere, be it my own office or going out for a run. I feel like it's the freedom to do what I want to do when I want to do it, but at the same time within this within this, I don't want to say bubble, but where I am actually not taking care of someone else. Where are my words? Where I'm actually considering somebody else's needs and feelings, and somebody else's what they bring to our relationship, and what I can bring back. So I feel like, wow, a soft life is a little bit more complicated than I initially thought, but it's all of those things, and it's having freedom, security, and safety, and being vulnerable and being intimate with someone. So it's all of those things.
I love that. My takeaway is that I love how we get to decide what it is, that it doesn't have to look the same for all of us, that so many people argue over what's right, and people don't even know what they want to begin with. And we've sat here and maybe walked into this conversation, each of us not fully knowing what it meant for us, but now having an idea, and how wonderful to be able to take that into conversations with our current relationships or future relationships, to say, this is what a life of ease would look like to me. Because at our big ages, nobody wants to be grinding it out and when they're 78. So what does it really look like for us to build a life of ease? Like, let's be for real. As as we get older. You know what I'm saying? Like we do want to. I'm never retiring. I don't know what that is. I will never not
Right.
be doing something.
Right.
But I want to be doing the something because it lights me up inside, not because if I don't, my lights are gonna get cut off. That's not what we're doing at this stage of life. So I love that we've defined that for ourselves. And look, that's Shaka Khan said, I'm every woman. Like
I'm everyone. Keep calling me.
Wait, can I tell you guys?
Why did that surprise me?
I saw a commercial yesterday with Vanna White, and I had to stop and ask Siri how old Vanna White is, and I think Siri said she's like 78 or something or 68, and I'm like, go Vanna, Vanna handling. She's handling
Please,
her
did
ball
you see
down.
Gail? Did you see Gail King?
Okay.
Come now.
I'm
When
just
I'm
saying.
talking about ease,
Right,
put me on the cover of Sports Illustrated at 69.
but they're working.
Right.
Mm.
Because
Well,
soft
look
life
at the
doesn't have to
job,
mean you're not working, but what
Right.
are you
Yeah.
doing? I think people, the folks that are looking for this soft life are like they don't want to be grinding out of the job that they can't stand. Oh, I got you on that
That's
one,
the
but that's
point.
not the same thing as having ease,
Mhm.
You're right.
right?
You
So yeah, no, we're not doing that.
Look, when we get paid to
Right.
do this all the time, all day, every day,
We're
Yes,
gonna bake a cake
baby.
and dresses at the same time.
Yes, baby. Yes.
Still making
that is the
I
beautiful
love it.
thing.
I
So,
love
oh
it.
my God! All right, well, I'm happy. I am
Did
happy.
this satisfy you, Shelly? Did this
Yes,
help you out?
that satisfied me because I am so sick of this cookie cutter conversation. And if you don't fit inside the mold, that you're not right. Who are you talking to? Because I know you're
Who's
not talking
mold?
to me, right?
Who's
Who's
mold?
mold?
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's each individual person, each mold holder thinks that their mold is the only one. And it's like, absolutely not. There's no mold, there's no box. Because if you create a mold because of how I was, it's not going to fit who I am.
Right.
Just real quick, KK Diva said, that's the question. What will it take for me to build a life of ease? And that's what people need to ask instead of what's hashtag soft life. What will it take for me to build a life of ease? And lastly, Maurice in here stirring up the pot. I'm about to use a bad word. I think for many people, ease, because he doesn't like when we say quote unquote. I think for many people, ease means a lack of worth. I don't know where that man just got that from.
Yeah.
We have that. I'm gonna have to message you and ask you about that one. Ease don't mean a lack of worth to us.
Maurice.
Mm-mm.
No.
It means the very opposite for these ladies sitting here.
Yeah, seriously.
I cannot relate to the words that are coming out of your fingers.
Yeah. Sad for those people, but for us, ease means that we are very worthy. Oh, let that marinate. Okay. You know what? Listen.
We can marinate. I was trying to find a pen to write that down, but that's all right. We got the replay.
Thank y'all for joining us. Y'all want to do your outros or your goodbyes? Are we good? What you want
Bye.
to do? Listen, real quick, y'all just make sure you get on our mailing list. That's there. We are here the third Saturday of every month.
Yes.
Get on our mailing list. That way you know where to find us, because we're also live on Instagram Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We're live on the Clubhouse app Mondays and Fridays. And soon we'll be live on LinkedIn as well. So make sure that you follow Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits across all social media platforms, including LinkedIn. Hi, LinkedIn. How y'all doing?
And if they survive, maybe even the tick and the talk. Maybe.
Listen, I'm gonna leave that one to you. I can't manage that one. I'll leave that one to you. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for contributing to the conversation. You make it richer when you comment and add
100%.
to the convo. So we appreciate
yes.
it so
Thank
much.
you, Maurice.
All right,
Thank
everyone.
you, Kiki, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
See y'all.